Um, Happy New Year! And here we have a little New Year special battle I got for you. As you can see from the title, it's a New Year's baby metronome battle, and I did it against my brother. And yeah, it sucked. I sucked. No, this battle doesn't suck. Watch, it's kind of funny. So Smoochum decides that it's afraid of Riolu, so it's gonna U-turn and get out. I'm just gonna get out of there. You don't see many switching in metronome battles. So I'm gonna send in Tyrogue to hopefully take on, maybe get some stab on that Munchlax. So he gets a stab force palm on my Pichu, and he gets pair hacks. So whatever. That's totally stupid. I'm sucking on a candy cane here. So I decided to pedal dance Munchlax, or Pichu does, and he gets a little bit of damage off. Love candy canes. So Munchlax decides to Nightshade Tyrogue. It's gonna do some pretty good damage. It's gonna do about 100 damage. And I still have over half with my Tyrogue. So then his Riolu's gonna decide he wants to Crush Claw, see if he can finish Pichu off. And he does. Because Pichu's defenses suck, and I just bit off like half my candy cane. So Tyrogue decides to Metronome. And he decides he wants to do Thunder Punch on Munchlax, but doesn't do that much, but he gets a crit. So Munchlax decides to Dizzy Punch Tyrogue, and does some pretty good damage. Almost takes him out. So I'm gonna send Smoochum back out, and he thinks that a Metronome's coming, or she does. Smoochum does. So Smoochum uses Supersonic, tries to confuse the opponent, misses. Riolu is going to Cosmic Power to raise his defenses, because he's kind of worried about getting hit for some hardcore damage, so he wants to raise both his defenses. Tyrogue Metronomes and decides it would be best to use some of his physical power and Wood Hammer Munchlax for some pretty decent damage. But then gets hit with recoil. Still doesn't die though. He lives on the skin of his teeth. He's wounded. Although Focus Blast is gonna come in and hit Smoochum for some super effective damage, because Smoochum is ice. Or no, it's normal damage because she's also part psychic. Smoochum decides she wants to Metronome and does a tackle. And Munchlax doesn't realize it's coming, but just bounces right off of him. And so Riolu comes in and Aqua Tails, thinking he's going to finish off Tyrogue, and he does, with a crit. Oh wow. Interesting. So Munchlax decides he's going to Payback Smoochum, and that's just going to blow Smoochum out of the water. Payback is just going to wreck Smoochum, because Smoochum is so fast it already went first. And so Munchlax feels pretty good about that payback. He gets his payback off and kills Smoochum. So that's a double down. But for me, that sucks. So I'm going to send in Happiny, because she's kind of happy, and Bonsly. And they're thinking with their defenses that they're going to be able to hold off a little bit. Two pretty defensive Pokemon. So Nature Power turns into Tri-Attack for Riolu. And he's going to hit that Happiny for some pretty good damage with that Tri-Attack. See if he can get any pair hacks or burns or something. Happiny's not worried it's going to be fast enough, so it extreme speeds Riolu. And doesn't do much because Happiny's attack is like 48 or something like that. And Bonsly uses Heal Bell, thinking that might sound good to some people and help them, but Happiny didn't get burnt, so Bonsly kind of wasted that. Munchlax is going to yawn, and there's no switching in Metronome battles unless you can't use Metronome, so Happy's probably going to fall asleep. Riolu decides to go with an Earthquake, thinking he's a pretty physical Pokemon and he's going to pretty much wreck everyone. And so it hits Happiny, who for some pretty good damage. Hits Bonsly, does almost half on Bonsly. It's going to hit Munchlax, who takes it pretty good. Riolu wasn't paying attention and sent an Earthquake Munchlax's way. That was kind of silly. So Mach Punch is going to come in from Happiny, which is going to be super effective, but Munchlax just takes it in the gut like no one's business. So Bonsley psych ups, thinking he's gonna boost his stats. He copied the defense changes of Riolu, because if Riolu's gonna be defensive, so is Bonsley. Munchlax goes for quick attack, thinking it's not gonna be quick enough, and does a little bit on Hapney. And Hapney decides to take a nap because she's feeling tired. That yawn got her, so she's gonna go to sleep for a little bit, rest it up. Riolu takes advantage of Hapney sleeping, goes in for the Thunder Fang, and doesn't quite kill Hapney off. Hapney's still sleeping. She's chilling, getting a little baby sleep. Look how cute she is. So Bonsley's gonna cycle shift, but nothing happens. Munchlax is gonna metronome to use gastric acid. So now Bonsley's covered in all this nasty acid stuff. It's pretty gross. Riolu's gonna use an ice ball, but it's gonna miss. Hapney's gonna wake up, tired of sleeping. She's not tired of sleeping. She tries to fling something, but realizes she's not holding anything. So that failed. Bonsley's gonna try and get everyone wet with Splash. Doesn't really help out. There we go. So Munchlax is gonna lift his fat up, do a rolling kick, but Bonsley's pretty defensive. So Riolu's gonna do metronome, ice bang Bonsley. He's gonna take it pretty nice because of the defense boost. Hapney's gonna metronome, still living with a little bit. Ice punch. Unfortunately, Munchlax got that thick fat, so it's not gonna do too much. Bonsley's gonna use mirror shot on that Munchlax, which is gonna hurt it. Not too much though. Munchlax is gonna feather dance, which is gonna lower Hapney's attack stat if it wasn't low enough. Riolu decides the only thing that's gonna take Hapney down is some seeds, so it's gonna knock her with him twice. He's spitting him out of his mouth. The spit is all over Hapney, and she decides that she's done battling because she's all wet now with spit. And Bonsley starts crying, and that's gonna lower Munchlax's special defense. She's thinking the crying is gonna help. So metronome, Munchlax is gonna use torment, so I can't keep using metronome over and over again. Magby comes in thinking some fire is gonna help. Maybe he's gonna try and finish off Munchlax with a pin missile, but yeah, it's only gonna hit twice. That's unfortunate. So Riolu's gonna do some payback on Magby, and that's gonna hurt. Ugh, wow, it took down like half. So Bonsley's gonna struggle because he can't use metronome. He's gonna do some good damage. It's gonna take some recoil though, putting it pretty close near death. Yep, just barely lives. Munchlax is gonna metronome, and he's gonna do a vice grip, see if he can put Magby in a chokehold. And he does, and it does some pretty good damage. But the flame body kicks up. Munchlax is gonna get burned. It's not good. And Munchlax goes down. Finally. First Pokemon on his team down. So he's going to send in his Mantike, thinking water has an advantage over fire if he can get any stab moves. Not necessarily smart thinking in Metronome battle. So Magby comes in with an Air Slash, which is going to do some super effective Shiznat on that Riolu. Doesn't take it down though. So close. If it hadn't been for that Cosmic Power. Ugh. So Riolu is going to come in, do a Light Screen, protect from further Air Slashes from Magby. Because, puts up that little screen there. It's like a screen door, bugs can't go through a screen door. Good thing I don't have any bugs on my team. Mantike is gonna Sludge Bomb, thinking that might stop my Magby by putting some sludge on it. And Magby gets poisoned, and so he's gonna die after this turn, which is so too bad. Bonsley's gonna Pedal Dance because that works pretty well for Pichu earlier in the game or something like that. One of my Pokemon. And Magby's gonna go down to poison. So Bonsley's just chilling there with about like 1 HP. But Riolu is going to use Metronome, see if he can stall him out. He's going to slack off, get some health back, just in case Bonsley wants to do anything tricky to Riolu. And he regains his health, obviously. So Mantike's going to Metronome, see if he can finish it off. and he just guard swaps, so he's gonna take that boost that Bonsley got, making Mantike pretty tough. Bonsley's gonna keep pedal dancing, see if we can get a little damage off on that Mantike. Not too much after taking his defenses. But then Bonsley gets a little confused and doesn't remember what he's doing. He's just on the Pokemon field just going like, what the hell am I doing? So Riolu thought Bonsley was too fast. So he decides to go with the String Shot. And then Mantike also decides that he needs his special defense higher. So he's going to do some Amnesia. Bonsley's going to get a Metronome off even though he's confused. He remembers what he's doing, and he's going to constrict that Riolu so the Riolu can't do nothing. Just constrict him there with his non-existent arm things. And then Riolu decides he's going to go with the Seed Flare and totally put some overkill on Bonsley. Yeah. That was interesting. Very interesting Metronome battle. Very pathetic on my side. So I guess he wins that one. And that's okay, though. Not a biggie. Not a biggie. You can see his other guys there, like Elkid, Cleffa, and Mime Jr. Maybe we'll get to see them another time. Anyways, Happy New Year, everyone. Have good luck in 2011. Have a good time. Everyone else, don't forget, or everyone else, continue with it. Everyone thought. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe because it helps the videos get noticed. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out. ShaggyGinger signing out.